Hello. Yes, I'm still alive and kicking. Barely kicking, but I'm alive. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I could like make a whole video of just how I am feeling about this whole pandemic and being quarantined and my kids now distant learning. Oh my gosh, I could make a whole video on it, but I won't. So, during this whole, I'm in California, by the way, and so I really doubt that anything will be lifted here anytime soon because we have a horrible governor, and that is just my opinion. So, not that I'm in a hurry, but I just, yeah, I don't see our state going back to normal anytime soon. But while I have been sitting here, I actually finished my December daily, and it is April. I probably finished it maybe a couple weeks ago. But I said that I would show you, and I thought since everybody's kind of home and we're watching YouTube videos that I would do a flip through. I wasn't going to because it's just, I don't know. I told you how I felt about this. Okay, here, let me just, so let's just backtrack real quick. If you've seen my other December dailies, I usually do them in like Project Life style, like just the cards and the sleeves, and I add my own stuff. And I really like that. And I found that I do still like that working in this. And I had bought a traveler's notebook with the mindset of it being minimal, and so that I wouldn't chunk it up. Like I thought that that would stop me and I would just put pictures in and not embellish. But I have learned from this, and I'm glad I did this, that how I did it before, there was nothing wrong with that. That's obviously how I like to do that because I chunked this up so bad that this started falling apart. It's just how I like to document, and so I won't ever do this again. It literally just cannot even close. It's so thick. And I didn't like not being able to pick my own papers. I didn't like not being able to put in a sheet protector. So, lesson learned, but it's done, and here it is. So I didn't really feel like decorating. I was so over this, so over doing this. And this was really hard to finish, but I did, and I just got the pictures down and I just started embellishing, and I'm done. And I'm so glad my desk is cleared because now I can gut my room out and start reorganizing it like I've been wanting to. So here we go. I will link where I got this traveler's notebook. I think it's beautiful. You'll see that I kept maybe a couple of these glitter papers, but I ended up cutting them out because I could not work with them. So I hope that this stays in frame. We're going to try this, and I'm not going to go crazy with it. So I didn't do anything on this little thing right here. Or, yeah, here, let me get on my knees. Sorry. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. So day one, and I noticed, I'm just going to talk while I flip through so you can see. So I noticed when I started it that I was trying to go minimal. You see, there's really nothing bulky, you know, maybe like a little chipboard thing here and there, but you know, Mila and I grocery shopping, nothing big. A lot of these things were already on the papers. I stuck with most of the papers. Did like my own flip outs. This is, you see, it's starting to fall apart. You know, it started sticking like little things in bags, you know, and again, trying to stay with like flat embellishments, but it just, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So then I started adding like tabs because that's, or, you know, tags, because that's what I like to do. And so then it started like getting chunkier, and I just, gosh, it's just falling apart. But I have to point out real quick, I won't like tell you what every day is, but this day right here on day 3, I got a note from my son Max, from one of his teachers, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Hi, Mrs. Avalos. I just wanted to share a positive note about Max. I appreciate his maturity and respectful behavior. He shared his spiritual convictions, oh, I'm old, I can't see, and Christian testimony recently. And I found that very touching and bold. He is always sincere and kind, the most valuable character traits." And this is from Illustrated Faith. Max has always been like very, like, he has a whole wall of crucifixes and Jesus. He has this, calls his Jesus shelf. I've talked about it before. He has a stuffed Jesus that I actually got on Etsy. But when he woke up in the morning, I told him an angel had left it for him. And he's always been, and I don't want to say like obsessed with Jesus, because he understands and he's very, you know, like I guess you could say we're a religious family. I was raised Catholic and, you know, my kids were baptized and stuff, but I haven't, you know, gone to church as much as I would like to. But Max has always just stuck with his beliefs, and it is very bold of him nowadays. You can't really share, you know what I mean? And he didn't care. Max does not care. So I just love that. That's all I wanted to put that day was that. I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. So yeah, just little flip outs, and gosh, these vintage papers are really great, but boy, they're just, I mean, look at that. Oh, see, they're just coming out. It was just really hard to work in this. So here's that glitter paper, and a lot of you were saying put some paper over it, and see it's starting to come up. I couldn't find any adhesive. I did red tape, everything, just nothing sticks to this. So yeah, that was kind of hard. And then it started getting busy. And I've said this before, I don't like white space. Like, this was so hard for me to just leave. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just ugly to some people, but I like a page that's just like I threw up on it. So anyway, so here's our lights. And so this was like a gold foil or a gold paper sheet, but it just wasn't thick enough, you know, for me to put like these pictures. So yeah, it's, you know, I did add a lot of these. Now, see, like in the old one, I would have just put a page protector, and I actually bought a whole bunch of them thinking that I could like stitch them. I think I did a haul of that. No, there's no, how could I stitch anything? Mila brought me some breakfast in bed. I thought that was sweet. Of course, I only had the oatmeal, I think, and eggs. Okay, that's supposed to be avocado toast, but she put like guacamole on it, and I felt horrible. I couldn't eat it. This is day 9. It's Benny's first birthday, but I know it looks like he's 9. So then I did what I normally do, and I started sticking like little ephemera. Like, this is a toy that he got, and it just, yeah, just started getting bulky. I always add Christmas cards that we get, but because I didn't have like sleeves, I was like, how could I do that? You know, so I made this and just cut like family pictures out and put them in that way. So that was, you know, I mean, I know that they were Christmas cards. So yeah, I used a lot of, I've always used a lot of little, but I noticed like in the old one, I'd use a lot more like 4x6s, but I just, again, like, you know, this was the picture of us, our tree finished. And I mean, I didn't have to do it on this page, but you know, like it was like, okay, so that's all I get to do. Like, you know, is like, I would have made a whole big spread of it in the other book. So yeah, it was just hard. It was hard to do. So I used a lot of little pictures, and I actually used my sprocket quite a bit too. This day we found shopping for my stepson, found a fish place, and it was the first time there. So how did I do that? Oh, that was a vellum. I put, this was the front, well, part of the front of the menu. And then this was the back. And so, you know, again, I still tried to stick in little pieces like I would. These vellum pieces, I would have to put papers on to reinforce them because they were just too, you know, too flimsy. So Mila and I are obsessed with boba. I never liked it. My friend Joanne used to be like, what? You're not really Filipino. I just thought it was gross to have chewy balls, or, you know, little bits of chewy balls of tapioca in your mouth. Anyways, now I'm obsessed. So this day it was, and then that was another thing. Sorry, I'm just going to tell you my thinking. It was like I had a whole bunch of pictures this day, but because, I don't know, I just stuck to one. So I couldn't even put a lot of pictures, you know, that I wanted. My cousin's 4th baby was a boy, was born. So I just put him in there. Me and Benny. So this was like a little pocket, but I was afraid to put anything in it. Like this came on it. Some stuff I covered up, some of the like little embellishments that she put on. You know, some of them I took off, and so I did this. And my husband patrols, he's a deputy, so he patrols the streets, and he would send me some pictures sometimes, and this was like a lost like dog. So of course I was like crying, and I'm like, bring it home. And he's like, no, you can't even take care of the two. I mean, I could take care of the two, but oh my gosh, okay, we're not gonna talk about it. If you're on Instagram, you know that my Yorkie was in the hospital, and I was just beside myself. I've never known the love for a dog, and I've said this a lot on here. If you have a dog, you understand. I won't talk about my dog anymore, but well, yeah, I will. But I was beside myself. I was having his eulogy like he was going to die. I just was screaming that I can't live without him. And he came home 5 days later, but still, you know. So this is funny because this was my neighbor across the street gave this to us, and it was nice. It was the soap. And funny story, she is a nurse, and she was actually, I think I've told you before, I had gastric bypass 10 years ago. And I knew when I moved in here about 4 years ago that I recognized her. She was my nurse, and I was like waiting for her to go, dang, you got hecka skinny. Yeah, so she didn't. And then this was from my other neighbor, and I was looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's a crafter. Because look this is like a die cut. Like she made this. So yeah, she dropped off cookies. So there's a crafter down the street. Food and a mammo. Got my mammogram that day. I have to get them more often than not because of issues I have. So, but everything turned out fine. So I wanted to document it. I noticed that my husband and I ate out a lot this month, but maybe it's just because we, you know, when you're out Christmas shopping. So dirt bike riding, of course. My dogs, I say creeping because he's looking through. I'm in the living room, and that's my family room. So when he sees me cuddling with Coco, he comes outside in the window and just stares at us. It's so sad. Of course, I always put in our Snapchats because we're like obsessed with them, and the jib jab. This day, so these are all my kids. This is my oldest. So we go Christmas light. Yes, we still do it. Tradition is they get hot chocolate, and a few of us get coffee. So I feel like it's the same pictures every year because we go to the same neighborhood. And this is the day that my stepson, he lives in Texas, flew in. I didn't get a lot of him this year. He doesn't like to be on the camera. I don't know why, but anyways, I snuck some in. So this is us. I think I have a picture of this ever since they were little. Well, I'd be here and someone else would be there, you know. But anyways, I would love to just get all those pictures. Again, we've lived where we live now or in this city for a while, so it's always the same houses. Just a doctor's appointment. So this is where it was getting really chunky. I was kind of getting tired of it, and I just wanted to get rid of a lot of my Christmas embellishments because I'm not using any of those next year. Like I'm cleared everything out. I gave some to Mila, and just nobody's accepting donations, so I have just bags of scrapbook stuff in the garage. But we had to hang our stockings on a closet door in the hallway this year because Benny is obsessed with socks, and if I hung those on the fireplace, they would be gone. So kind of ghetto, but I don't care. That's what we had to do. Okay, do not laugh. So I saw somebody on Instagram do this, and you can like personalize your family. Yes, we look like you're 2 feet tall, sitting in front of a giant Christmas tree. I should have made us bigger. Like then I started looking at people's pictures, and I was like, why are they all big? Why was I so small? But this seriously looks like, minus Eric and my stepson. But there's Coco. Okay, I gotta put it up. There's Coco. Oh wait, no, it's not gonna. There's Coco. Oh my gosh, it looks like him. There's Benny. And so there's my husband, me, Damien, Brandon, Max, and Mila. I think it looks just like us. Oh my gosh, I was cracking up. I just wish that I would have made it, I wish I would have made it bigger. So we're getting down to Christmas Eve, and I put like an overlay over it. Again, I was just so done with this. And the pages really started falling out. So you go to my husband's parents' house, and so the kids hang with their, I guess, step cousins, and yeah, so this is his family and his stepson and his mom and dad and my kids. Yeah, so, you know, just documented that. You know, I have 2 twin nieces, and they love Mila, and so they were all in my Snapchat, so I put them in there. And then Christmas Day, this was, oh my gosh, I did not know this came out. How am I going to do that? See? Never again. I'm always up to like 3 in the morning. My kids I think don't believe in Santa Claus anymore. When I met my husband, he told me you need to not let them believe anymore. And I was like, okay, whatever. You know, Damien is 19 and he does have autism, but he's just so innocent, and I think it's still hard for him to grasp that there is no Santa Claus, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, it's not like he went to college and was like, hey you guys, what did Santa get you? At least I think he didn't. So I still stay up at night and wrap presents, and that's just something I've always done, and until they are like, you don't have to do that anymore, I won't. And so they wake up and there's all the presents, and then I was just like, I just was done. I know I kept saying that, but I really was just bulking it up. Listed some of their Christmas presents. Mila got a new dirt bike helmet, and there's my stepson, and it was a lot of, like, see, and then it started to get where it's hard to work on pages that are, like, you know, anyway, you know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to work on these kinds of pages. So we go to my dad's, and we have breakfast, my parents and my brother, and gosh, I just couldn't. I had clips holding this down. So this was just dinner. We always have Christmas dinner at my house. And Coco fell asleep next to Eric. Benny fell asleep next to me. We were just done. And then my son's, I guess she's an ex now. I don't know. They're kind of off and on. But she came over and I gave her Christmas present. And then I usually put their lists in. So I put Max and Mila's list. I made a pocket and put Damien and Brandon's. And I have these few left. And I just don't care. And it's done. It's like, look at this, you guys. Never again. So I just thought I would share, because I figure a lot of us are just watching. Well, maybe you're not watching YouTube as much as I am, but I'm watching a lot of it. And boy, am I watching way too much of it. And I'm just getting a little stir crazy in here. I stay at home with my kids, but I choose to do that. I don't choose to be home right now. And I don't like being stuck in here. So anyways, I do have a few hauls to show you that I did some online, you know, here and there. I just kind of didn't feel like shopping at all. And then I actually was contacted by a company to do a review, and that was about a month ago. Just with everything going on, I haven't gotten around to it. So I'm going to be uploading some videos today, so I hope you will enjoy them, and I will talk to you later. I hope everybody's healthy and hanging in there. Okay, see you soon. Bye.